In Mind Mastery episode 4, we're going to be talking a little bit about meditation. So let's get started. Hey guys, and welcome back to Tipharot. It's Matt here with the Mind Mastery series, and this is episode 4. We're going to be talking about meditation and why it's so important and why it's going to be potentially the single most important thing you do in this whole course. And potentially one of the single most important things you do in your whole life for that matter. So to get started, what is meditation? Now, there's a lot of confusion about what meditation is because meditation as a word, its definition just means basically to kind of contemplate, to kind of be involved in something, to observe, that kind of thing. And so you can meditate on an idea, you can think about an idea, you can ruminate over the idea. Or you can meditate in a way where you're kind of focusing on your breathing and avoiding thought and all of that. Or you can follow a guided meditation track or something like that. There's lots of different things that all fall under the blanket term of meditation. But we're talking about mindfulness meditation. We're talking about this meditation where you are completely focused on one activity, completely focused, putting all of your attention onto something like your breathing, or like to the kind of clear space behind your eyes if you've got your eyes closed, something like that. And the reason that we're looking at this style of meditation is one of the biggest problems with our minds that we're going to be tackling in this Mind Mastery series is the conscious mind and how analytical and like overthinking it always is. You know, as the Tool song goes, overthinking, overanalyzing separates the body from the mind, and it is kind of true. Like if you're overthinking and overanalyzing things, you kind of get a bit detached from your natural state of being, from you know, being in touch with your subconscious, with your intuition, from being successful. All these things. When you start overthinking, you just get anxious, you get worried, you get depressed, you get upset, and you can't react to things in a very good way. It's not really very nice. And so what I'm going to suggest to you guys now is to meditate every single day, and you're going to start to be much less anxious. You're going to start to be much less stressed, and you're basically just going to find that your whole life is improving. And so how do you meditate? That's the next part. And basically, to meditate, you want to sit comfortably. Now there's lots of different positions, and I'll show some pictures of them on screen or something, or I'll link you to places where there's pictures if I can only find copyright pictures or whatever. We'll see in a minute. And there's different poses. You know, you can sit just regularly with crossed legs, or you can sit in half lotus position, which is where you basically have crossed legs but one of them is sitting on one of your thighs. Or you can sit in full lotus position, which is where you have both legs crossed inside so that one of them rests on each side, and I'll show you a picture of that. And you know, there's lots of other ways you can sit. You can normally on a chair, you can sit on the floor with your legs outstretched, you can lay down, you can sit in a million different positions. The position isn't so important, although certain ones will make meditation a lot easier. What's really important is what you do there. Once you're sitting, once you're laying down. Now there are different styles of meditation, and the one that I practice most frequently is known as Zazen. And in Zazen, the approach is you sit usually in lotus position or in this kind of kneeling position where you kneel over this little bench, so that it kind of covers your ankles so that you're not sitting on your ankles, and you kneel on that, and you sit there, and sometimes you put your hands in this kind of posture. I'm not really showing it very well because you normally have it sitting on your lap, and you sit there and you keep your spine straight. You want to have your spine as straight as possible. You face forward, your head completely upright, but your eyes slightly pointing downward, about kind of angled like this, kind of downward. And from there, you kind of defocus your eyes, so you're kind of focusing in midair rather than on a point in the wall or whatever. Although if that's kind of uncomfortable for you, then you can just focus on the wall or whatever. Just don't stare. Remember to blink and stuff like that. And you just watch your breathing. Just pay attention to your breathing. As you breathe in, just watch the action of your breath coming in through your nose, and then watch it coming out through your nose again. And just regulate your breathing. Let it be nice and slow and relaxed, and watch it the whole time while you're doing it. Now, in Zazen, you keep your eyes open like that, but in other styles of meditation, you keep them closed. It really doesn't matter that much. The reason that it's kept open in Zazen is because some people find that if they're meditating for long periods of time, they get really sleepy and they can fall asleep during the meditation, which isn't ideal if that's not what you want. Whereas in Zazen, because you've got your eyes open, you kind of become more alert, and and so it keeps you awake. But if you're already alert, you're full of energy, it's the middle of the day and you're not worried, you're only meditating for 20 minutes, you're not going to be sleepy or anything, then you can meditate with eyes closed. I meditate with both. I mostly meditate with eyes open in the Zazen style, but sometimes I meditate with eyes closed, and I like both of them. They work great for different things. And when you're meditating, just keep watching your breath, and the idea is that by focusing on your breath, you slow down your thoughts and they start to disappear because you're too absorbed in the watching of your breath. But the problem with this is, people hear about this. They hear that you have to be free of thought in meditation, that you free your mind of thought, you stop thinking. But then they try to stop thinking. And I use this example so many times in so many of my videos, but stop thinking of a pink polar bear or a pink elephant or whatever. Don't think of a pink elephant. It doesn't work. If you're trying not to think, you're thinking. It's a paradox, really. It's like a dog chasing his tail. It's not going to work. So what you actually have to do is you have to distract yourself from thinking. You have to do something else rather than thinking. It's not that you have to... There's no effort that you have to put into not thinking. You just have to be doing something else so that you aren't thinking. This is why you can actually meditate during daily activities. One of the things that people do in Zen is, they'll clean the floor with a toothbrush for hours and hours and just completely focused and absorbed in the activity. And that's in a way a form of meditation, because your mind is focused so much on the activity that it doesn't have time to think. It doesn't have the ability to think. And so you're going to notice, you're going to be trying not to think or whatever. You're going to be worried and you'll notice if you do that you start thinking, and then you get frustrated and you feel like the meditation isn't working. Well, the thing is, even if you're focused on your breathing, you're going to think sometimes. Thoughts are going to come into your mind. It's natural. Thoughts happen of their own accord. You don't actually need to try to think for thoughts to occur. They can occur of their own accord. And that's something that you'll notice in meditation, is that some of these thoughts aren't exactly your own. They're not your own doing, they just happen. And so when you notice these thoughts, the next thing that you want to do is you want to just turn your attention back to your breathing and start to focus on your breathing. You can accept the fact that the thoughts are there and don't worry about them. The goal of meditation is not to be completely free of thoughts. It's to move your attention away from any thoughts that do occur. Keep your attention elsewhere so that the thoughts are minimal, and that when they do occur, you're already focused away from them so they disappear quite quickly. What happens is people get stressed about it. They see that they're thinking and they go, oh no, I'm thinking. And they start thinking about the fact that they're thinking, and then they start thinking about the fact that they're thinking about the fact that they're thinking, and it's just this vicious cycle, and then they get caught up in it and they get stressed and they think, I can't meditate, I'm rubbish at meditation, this isn't working, what's the point, blah blah blah, and they stop meditating. And that's not the point. What you should do when you notice those thoughts, don't worry about them. It's completely fine to have thoughts during meditation. It's just that at that point, you should go, okay, I've noticed them, time to focus back on my breathing. And just take a nice deep breath and focus on that, and then just continue to focus on your breathing. And it doesn't matter if you keep getting those thoughts, and you have to keep turning your attention back. The first times you meditate, you're going to be getting those thoughts like every 3 to 5 seconds, and then you're going to turn your attention back to your breathing, and then 3 seconds later you're going to get another thought, and you're going to have to do that again and again. And it's going to feel arduous, it's going to feel like you're not accomplishing anything. But what I want to tell you is that if you're one of those people that struggles like that, then meditation is helping you even more than it's helping other people. Because if you're like that, that's because your mind is over-analytical and over-analysing everything so much that it's throwing out these thoughts every few seconds. So meditation is going to benefit you tremendously. In just a few weeks you should notice huge benefits in your life, in all areas of your life. So don't worry about it. Don't worry if it feels stressful, if it feels like you're not doing a good job. If you're sitting there and you're dedicating the time to keep focusing back on your breathing, and to keep doing that every time it seems like you're messing up, just to turn back, even if you do mess up and get distracted and caught up in the thoughts for like 5 minutes or something, just turn your attention back to your breathing as soon as you realise, and don't worry about it, and you're meditating perfectly. That's all there is to it. So I want you to try this. After this video, I want you to sit down and meditate. You can base the time that you do it on, how comfortable it feels for you. If you're already comfortable with meditation, perhaps you've done it before, or you're just very patient, then try 20 minutes. If you've never done meditation before, or you haven't done it in a while and you're a bit rusty or whatever, just do 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Set an alarm. And this is the other piece of advice I'll give you. Try and set an alarm. A lot of people don't like meditating with alarms, but I find personally for me that if I don't have an alarm, I sometimes get caught up thinking, how long has it been since I started meditating, and I start kind of worrying if I haven't been meditating long enough, and why am I getting kind of worked up that I've been sitting here for so long already, or I'll be worrying that I've been meditating too long and I'm perhaps, running late for something. So what I do is I set an alarm, I decide how long I'm going to meditate, I set an alarm, and then if I'm really comfortable at the end of that meditation period, then I'll just turn off the alarm, put a new one for a new length of time, and just sit down and go straight back to meditation. It's just nice to have that alarm there, because that means when you're sitting there, you know that alarm is going to let you know in half an hour or whatever that it's time to stop meditating. So you don't have to think about time or anything. You can just completely focus on your breath and be lost in the exercise. So do that now. Set an alarm for 5 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever after this video. Meditate. And then what I want you to do is I want you to take the journal that I told you about in the last episode, which you should have if you haven't got one already. If you don't have one already, just get some paper in the meantime, find something to scribble on, a receipt, whatever, and just take some notes for now and then copy them into your journal when you get one. But in your journal, I want you to write down, I will meditate tomorrow, and just set a time and how long you're going to meditate for. And I want you to start off small. Don't overwork yourself. It's going to be hard the first few times, so just take 5 minutes of meditation a day at first, and then up it to 10, and then 15, and then 20, and then 30, and so on. And, some people don't go past 30, even 30 minutes of meditation a day is a lot, and that will massively improve your life. So if you get to, once you start getting past the 10-minute mark, you're going to see notable benefits from it. Even the 5-minute mark for a lot of people is going to do a lot. And I want you to start doing it every single day. Every single day, I want you to do at least 5 minutes of meditation. If you can do more, then do more. And so this is why I want you to write this down in your journal. I want you to leave a reminder for yourself for tomorrow that you're going to meditate. And I want you to write down also today, after you've meditated, write down that you meditated and for how long. And then tomorrow, once you meditate, write down afterwards in your journal that you meditated. And get in the habit, because as I mentioned in the last episode about journals, when you start writing down that you're doing something each day, it's going to solidify into a habit much quicker. And so by writing down that you just meditated, you're going to remember the next day much easier to meditate again. And so you get into the habit. And so I want you to stick with this habit, and you're going to find that this is like the foundation of everything else we're going to do in this course. Meditation is going to set you up for everything else. It's going to make everything a lot easier. It's going to improve all areas of your life, your social life, your physical health, and your mental health, how you feel inside, your moods. I mean, it's incredible. It has so many benefits, and it's one of the most important things you ever do in your life. I'm not exaggerating that. It's completely changed my life, starting to meditate every day, and I do it every day now, and have done for a long period of time. And so start on that yourself. This is a course where you're meant to follow along and you're meant to do the exercises, and if you do the exercises, it's really going to improve your life. So get meditating, make sure you've done all the exercises in the previous episode as well, and I look forward to seeing you in episode 5. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you get meditating, and if you did enjoy it and you want more similar content like this, then remember to subscribe up there, because we've got regular videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. If you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up, and if you have any comments or questions, or want to share how you meditate uniquely, or want to just ask about the course in general, then share that down in the comments below. And if you want to keep watching more, then check out the video linked on screen. Take care, guys. Get meditating.